Hello and welcome back. Delve with me yet again into the Shattered Isles. This is Session 6, the Abridged version. So, Session 6, they have just defeated Harley and kind of taken over this town. And they gather the gold that Harley had in his pocket in his room, and as they're discussing what to do with it, Mim is able to persuade everyone that they should go and bury it. I'm not sure if he wasn't expecting a very large return on investment or just to keep it safe, just in case. But anyways, this becomes a very highly referenced thing because that's kind of everyone else is pretty upset about the fact. But I mean, when he wows them with charisma, that's what happens. So they defeat him. They talk with some of the bandits around, and they found out that Fastoff, who was the man in the hotel, the Polance Inn, who was forced to eat his friend's face and went mad, had stopped by, and he kind of forced his way into the group. But they were pretty quick to get him out because he, in his kind of initiation battle, he pulled a knife. Like, they had knives, but he pulled a knife, and instead of just playing till one was surrendered, he ended up carving off his opponent's face, and hence the name that he got the name Face Off Fast Off. So this character who is Dandy created now has this name, and he's on the loose, and he was able to catch a trading ship just ahead of them to get out of town. So he's let loose on the world. He's no longer trapped on the isle containing Polance. And speaking of the trades, with Harley out of the way, it's going to be pretty hard for everyone to continue the trading business. So a ship comes in with goods, and they're forced to try and make do with what they have. So it comes down to Dandy and everyone else really to try and persuade Barnabas, the ship captain on the trading ship, to allow them to take the goods. He's very reluctant, and they assure him that they have the perfect man to take over Harley's position, and this perfect man ends up being Doyle the Carpenter, and they actually gave Doyle the title of Grand Moff Doyle and put him in charge of the bandit town, as they were going to be setting off soon, and set up the trade back with the city and put him in charge. And Barnabas was rather pleased with this agreement, or pleased enough at least, and this allowed for them to kind of earn access onto Barnabas's ship. So here we have the kind of the overarching view, and you see the isle where Polance is, and then north is where the monastery where Renga is from would be located, and on the east side is where the grove that Varys has spent his entire life would be located, and on the same isle is where the capital of Dalturge, the orc capital, which is where Dandy is venturing from. Well, Mim was just a traveler in the area. So they learn of Rakasha, which is this town way to the west, and that's the town that Barnabas sets sail from. But Varys, the religious sort that he is, decides to make a religion check in order to seek guidance from Eldith, and pray for good waters and everything, because Eldith, being the goddess of groves and waters, this is a very reasonable thing. He proceeds to roll a nat 20, and a different path is set upon them, and they sail off to this other isle, which is not known to have any inhabitants of sort, but there's a very clear-cut path that they go. and upon like they land, keep following this path, and it leads them to this well where there's a statue of Eldith and some brush and like a torch, a little puzzle and whatnot. But ultimately, Varys gives himself to the well and offers himself to Eldith to be her agent, and he comes out with these special marbles that have absorbed all of the waters from her well, and it wasn't quite so clear cut. But anyways, he has solidified his role as an agent for Eldith. They've solidified their role at not being the most astute to puzzles, and they go back to the ship and venture on towards Rakasha. And that's where we'll pick up next time. So thanks for stopping by.